So we set up a few studies to look, okay, what happens if I expose embryos to progesterone in vitro in an IVF scenario? And then what happens if I do it in vivo after embryo transfer? So this slide shows a lot of numbers, but the important point is in the circle here at the end. For those of you not familiar with IVF, essentially we recover immature oocytes, typically from abattoir-derived ovaries. We mature them in vitro. We fertilize them in vitro, in other words, in the incubator. And then we culture them for 7 days up to the blastocyst stage. And then if you're in commercial practice, you'll transfer those embryos to a recipient animal, or you might freeze them for future use or so on. So we talk about two things. We talk about cleavage rate, the number of eggs that undergo fertilization, and we talk about blastocyst development. What proportion of oocytes develop to the blastocyst stage? So the message from this slide simply is that exposing embryos in vitro to physiological concentrations of progesterone or supraphysiological concentrations of progesterone had no effect on the proportion of oocytes forming blastocysts. So it's out here around 35 to 40%. And again, that number may seem low to you, but that is what you get if you use in vitro-derived material. You don't get 80% blastocyst development. You get around 35 to 40. So the message here is there was no effect of exposing the embryo to progesterone on blastocyst development. Neither was there an effect on cell number or cell allocation within the embryo. So the pink cells are trophoblasts. They would form the fetal membranes later on. The blue cells are the inner cell mast cells, which ultimately will form the fetus later on in pregnancy.